Hello chess lovers, Suren here, and in this video let's take a look at a very fascinating game played during 2018 Speed Chess Championship, where the Polish player Jan-Krzystof Duda defeated Alexander Grischuk in a truly epic match with 14-13 score. This was a 3-minute game with 1 second increment, and Duda started the game with d4, knight f6 by Grischuk, c4, g6, knight c3, bishop g7, e4, d6, Grischuk goes for King's Indian defense, and f3, Duda is choosing the Zemish variation. This often leads to very sharp play with the players castling on opposite wings and attacking each other's kings. Black castled king's side, knight e2, a6, bishop e3 and b5 by sacrificing a pawn. Grischuk is seeking a counterplay on the queen's side. C takes b5, a takes b5, knight takes b5, knight d7, queen d2, c6. Grischuk is both kicking away white knight and at the same time is opening up the queen's diagonal. Knight c3, now comes e5, and white castles queen's side. A very risky decision by Duda. White's queen side is exposed and this gives black great attacking chances. Now comes queen a5, bishop h6. By offering an exchange of dark squared bishops, Duda is going to weaken black's king side and make it vulnerable. Knight b6. Already knight c4 is a very nasty threat, that's why Duda captured on g7, king takes g7, d takes e5, d takes e5, knight g3, bishop e6, bishop is coming after the pawn on a2 and knight f5 check. A tricky sacrifice, but Grischuk cold-heartedly moved back his king on h8 square, because if a move like g takes f5, then white can give a check from g5 square, and then after winning back the lost piece can go for h4, and actually white can organize a dangerous attack. That's why after knight f5 check, Grischuk played king h8, queen g5. Well, already after this move white is facing serious problems. It was better to bring back the knight. If rook b8, then knight c2 in order to protect white king, although after bishop takes a2, black's attack looks very scary. But in the game after king h8 we see queen g5. The queen is coming after the knight, knight d7, knight e7, and Grischuk simply captured on a2. h4, bishop b3. Grischuk is both attacking white rook and also is opening up the queen's path. Bishop d3, the bishop is coming to cover white king, and bishop takes d1. Actually, instead of playing bishop takes d1, queen a1 check followed by rook b8. And then if rook d2, knight a4 could give black better attacking chances, but in the game after bishop d3 we see bishop takes d1, although still with this move black is maintaining advantage. Now comes h5, Duda wants to open up the h file for the rook, and f6, Grischuk is trying to kick away white queen from this active square. But in this position, Duda came up with a very interesting h takes g6 move. He's sacrificing the queen, but of course capturing on g5 loses on the spot because black king can easily get checkmated. That's why after h takes g6, once white created a mating threat, it looks like that black is in trouble. But in this position, Alexander Grischuk found a powerful move, and with that move he actually solved all the problems. He played rook f7. Look at this position. This hanging black rook is both protecting the h7 square, is neutralizing the mating threat, is attacking white knight, and also right now if white captures on f7, then already there are no mating threats and black can win the queen on g5. Or after rook f7, if a move like g7 check, then simply rook takes g7. And if a move like rook takes h7, then here black has to be very careful because king takes h7 steps into this checkmate. That's why black should simply recapture with the rook, and this is going to be an easy win for black. Let's go back in the game after rook f7, we see queen h6, and here Grischuk simply captured on e7. Knight takes d1, and now if we have a look at the position, The white has some attacking chances on the king's side, but there was nothing wrong with black's position. Black can successfully protect his king, and black is simply a rook up. Knight a4. Now let's see how is Grischuk going to proceed with his attack. Knight c5, queen e3, rook g8, g takes h7, and rook takes g2. Black rook is penetrating white's camp from the second rank, and then Grischuk also captured on h7. We see the exchange of rooks on h7, f4. Duda is opening up the third rank for the queen, but now comes queen d2. Black is offering an exchange of queens in order to simplify the position. Queen h3 check, king g7. Black's position is very solid. Knight e3. Here comes rook g1 check. Bishop d1. Well, if king a2, then after queen a5 check, black can checkmate white king. That's why bishop d1 was played, a desperate move, but after rook takes d1, finally Duda resigned. This was a very sharp and epic battle, and of course the pinnacle of beauty in this fascinating encounter was this powerful rook f7 move. Let's have a look at this beauty once again. After which black is managing to solve all the problems and the game is over. Thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this game. For more games, consider subscribing to my channel. I will see you in the next video.